Hello everyone. I'm sorry for taking a bit of time. I was having some lovely OBS difficulties, but I'm here now. We are here in Valencia for the second round of the second season of the GT4 Championship here at FGTRL. I'm Ches, also known as Isidore. You'll find me under both names whenever you try to find me. And the format for this week is a 40-minute practice that only has 15 more minutes. Then we roll into a 15 minutes of qualifying, then a 20-minute race, and then the server will be restarted for a 30-minute race. That 30-minute race will have what's it called? We'll have a reverse start from the finish of this race, if I remember correctly, and just throw in a bit of spice into the mix here. You will only have 3 sets of tires for this entire evening. We're waiting for qualifying to get undergoing, and in the meantime, I will leave you guys on board. Let's find where my camera controls are. That's not correct. That's correct. I will leave you on board with Charlie here while I go and grab some water and a snack. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now, everyone. 6.5 minutes left of quali. I guess we have forwarded this session sometime along the way. That's fine. Let me just hop back onto the broadcasting view here. Current leader, Luke Wilson, with a 1:39.1 as the fastest lap so far. Followed closely by... Let's see where we can find him. Here he is, Kieran Macy with a 1:39.690. Right behind, we have Olav Nyheim in the McLaren with a best lap time of a 1:39.745. Close between the top three. And Robert Bjorkman not too far off as well, I believe. A 1:40.70072. Good evening, Triplex personalities. Let's go 444. Let's take a look at him. There he is, Michael Pocomande in the Black Falcon Team Bildstein BMW. I just realized that I have to open race control. I was wondering why things were loading in and looking a bit weird. Ah, there we go. Order has been restored in my mind. I'm just going to be doing this. I'm just going to be doing this for a short second. As I'm trying to get some stuff away from my main monitor that doesn't necessarily need to be there. There we go. We are back now. Mr. Pocomande currently sitting in 9th with a best time of a 1:41.067. Beautiful, beautiful livery, that 444 car. Of course, heavily inspired by, well, fully inspired by the Black Falcon Team Bildstein, driven by Jimmy Broadbent, Misha Sheridan, I think is how you pronounce his name, and Steven Alvarez Brown or Brown Alvarez. I don't remember the order, but Mr. Super GT. It's the Sim Racers theme, basically. And that is being ran in the NLS. Luke Wilson is still in the lead with just a minute left of qualifying now. Over half a second faster than P2 Kieran Macy, who seems to be pulling to the side of the road to end his lap, I think. And so is Olav here in P3, just further up the road, a couple of 100 meters. I think they're both backing off, unless Olav is going for one last lap. I wonder what Kieran's gonna do here. Is he thinking the same? I think he is. Yes, indeed. Lucas James is in the pits in the very interesting Alpine Aries Sports car here, the number 17, our own in-house American here. Sitting fifth with a 1:40.105 as his best time. Almost a second off from Luke, but Luke is a very fast driver, so I'm not too surprised that he has managed to build that gap. And that is the end of qualifying. Luke is still up on his best lap here. And so is Olav. Olav only having a few corners left to drive here. It doesn't look like it's enough to dethrone Luke here, but Finlay O'Reilly is currently sitting in P2, having knocked down Kieran Macy. Let's see what Olav can do here. Just a couple of 100 meters left. And he puts Kieran Macy down in fourth. A 1:39.645 is the best time from Olav here. So let's see what Luke can do here with just one more corner to go. Can he do a sub 1:39? Can he get into the 38s? We'll take a look here. He's valid still. He will do a 1:38.642. Almost a second faster than P2 of Finlay O'Reilly. That is a mega lap. It will be interesting to see if he can replicate this in the actual race in just a few minutes. Yes, good observation there, Charlie. And see if we can see it here. Luke has a handicap ballast of plus 16 kilos. And he managed a lap like that. Just 1 more minute to get your setups and all of that in order. Of course, this 20-minute race is a flat-out sprint to the end. However, race number 2, that's where stuff will start to happen. That's where we have that pit stop in the middle. A 10-minute long pit window. So, the order for the first race is going to be Luke Wilson in the Alpine. Followed by Finlay O'Reilly in the Mercedes. Olav Nyheim in the McLaren. Kieran Macy in the Aston Martin. Robert Bjorkman in the BMW. Lucas James in the Alpine. Charlie Thornton in the Aston Martin. Michael Pocomandy in... Let's see, Michael Pocomandy in the BMW. Knight last in the Ginetta. Beautiful, beautiful choice there. Kevin Packer in the BMW. Goncalves in the Porsche. And Aiden Burke in the Audi. Couple of bold choices. The Ginetta, the Porsche, and the Audi. They're interesting, but maybe not bad. But, well, yeah, definitely interesting. Let's head on board here for the formation lap with Luke Wilson. And when the race actually starts, we'll head back into the car of Aiden Burke to see all the chaos that might occur. There will be no red flag simply because we only have 12 people. We only have 12 drivers on the grid. Therefore, we don't feel that necessitates a red flag situation. And because it's such a short race that us having to stop the race, take everyone back to the pits, go through the replay, penalize people if applicable, then get the race restarted again. It's just not worth it. Because we would have to have the same procedure in race 2 again. So there will be no red flags tonight. Just one more corner. Well, could you call this sweeper here a corner? I'm not 100% sure. I guess it is. So 2 more corners to go here. And we will get the first race underway. Optimum track here with beautiful temperatures. 21 degrees in the air and 24 in the track. It's beautiful, beautiful, perfect temperature here today. Let's head on board here with Mr. Aiden Burke. That's a perfect camera angle. And we will see this race unfold here. He's getting a fairly good start over Goncalves in the Porsche here. So let's take a look at what can happen. 12 cars going into one corner. Let's see here. Seems clean so far. Of course, not the hardest T1 complex in the game. For example, we have Monza, we have Red Bull Ring. Not that hard. Goncalves getting a good start here. Beautiful move into T2. As Aiden is past Kevin Packer, I think. No, never mind. Kevin is back in front again. And I don't think anything's really happened here. I think everyone's kept clean mostly. Maybe a few small touches, a little bit of door banging, but in general, I think everything's been fine so far. Luke Wilson has dropped down to P2 though, as Olav has gotten past. That is probably the biggest thing that has happened. Kieran Macy is up to P3 and Finley O'Reilly has dropped down to P5. Bjorkman is still sitting comfortable in P4. The Swede and the Giggity Racing BMW number 6 here. Charlie Thornton in the Formula GT team here is running P6 and he is aiming for Finley. Good friends, the two of them. We're all good friends with both Charlie and Finley here. So let's see a fair but nice battle. Our lovely Michael Pocomandi sitting down in 8th, having a bit of a battle here with Knight. Knight looking to get past. Oh, as Finley seems to be off track. Let's take a look at what happened here. I wonder if he's had a bit of contact with Charlie, because Charlie Thornton is through. Oh, wow. That is interesting. That is indeed very interesting. So Charlie Thornton is indeed past here. I don't know what happened. Finley just made a slide out of contact with Bjorkman and just steered off track for some reason. Olav is still in the lead here, but he is battling hard with Luke Wilson and Kieran Macy. It's a three-way battle. Almost made contact, the 626 and the 420 there. Just almost. It's a bit of a 50-50 track, Valencia. Some people like it, some people don't. I think I'm slightly on the fence about it, but in general I would probably say I do like the track. If it suits some cars better than others, and I definitely think that GT4s shine more here than the GT3s. I think the GT3s just have a bit too much power. They can only ever really utilize it in the last sector, probably. If you are new here and you're interested in seeing what we do, and maybe you do want to participate, make sure you join Discord. That should be in the bio of the channel. Yes, it is. Make sure you drop us a like. Make sure you like the video. Drop that for us, as Kieran Macy has had some sort of off here. Let's take a look at what happened. He's just dropped it by himself there. Going back on throttle. That is devastating. He's gonna lose out all the way down to P9 now. That's a bit of a recovery race. So it could actually be good for him when we go into the second race. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and like the video, and do join the Discord if you're interested in joining what we do here. Everyone is welcome to join, no matter your experience, your level of experience, or your skill or speed or whatever. You're free to join. This is a place for everyone, as long as you can behave and drive around other people. Olav and Luke are still battling hard here. They've managed to build a gap of... I'm not 100% sure how big that gap is currently. It's a solid 3-second gap that they now have down to P3 of Robert Bjorkman, who's managed to get past Finley. Charlie is on the hunt for the top 4, even the top 3 here. He does have roughly a second and a half up to Finley, and then another 2 seconds up to Robert. But if he can get up to the top 3, I'm sure he'll be happy. As Luke Wilson here is still trying to find his way past Olav. With 13 minutes left of the race, we haven't even done half yet, and we've seen a lot of action. Oh my god, Olav seems to have completely lost the car here. Let's take a look at what happened there as Luke Wilson does take the lead. Yeah, he's lost the car on the curbs, just avoided contact with Luke Wilson, but he's dropped the car as a result of, well, taking too much curb. He's back now, but he's down to P6, and Luke Wilson is in the lead. That is going to have a devastating result for Olav today. Oh. Robert Bjorkman sitting 2.5 seconds roughly off of Luke. He's going to be looking at making a charge for the last 11-ish minutes of this race. He has Finley, Lucas, and Charlie right behind him. Still tells me that Charlie is in P4, but he is in P5, it looks like. As Kieran and Olav here are fighting, and they do make a tiny bit of contact. Seems as though Olav has made the switchback work here. Going to be interesting to see if that is a result of contact or if he was cleanly through anyways, as he goes a bit wide, almost opens up to Kieran here. Let's see if he can make it stick in the next couple of corners here. No, he can't. This is very much a single file section. Let's see who has the most drag going down the main straight here. Can Kieran catch up to Olav here? Not quite. Still has a way to go, roughly half a second off. But it's a hard battle, and I don't think that Kieran's gonna back out unless he absolutely has to. As Aidan Burke is trying to find his way through Knight last here, as Knight does a tiny mistake there, it seems like, going a bit wide. And he does it again, touches the gravel there. just dips one wheel into it, but he's going to keep the inside, and I do wonder if that's enough to keep the chasing Audi of Aidan Burke here away. He's going to be looking at a run into the next couple of corners here. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot. Tricky section here, tricky few corners. Entire second half of Sector 2 and the remaining Sector 3 are fairly difficult, actually. They do require a bit of patience, skill, and luck, actually. Oh, let's go. Kieran Macy and Olav are fighting it out here for P6. Charlie Thornton's only right up the road. So there's basically a three-way battle here now, including two of the Formula GT cars. I wonder if there's going to be any team orders. As Olav is right in a Formula GT sandwich here. He's gonna try to make a move here on Charlie Thornton, I think, and he's probably made that stick. They're going side by side into T1 here. It's being forced wide, but I do think that is still within reason from Charlie, that squeeze there, as he keeps that position. And I think Kieran Macy is going to try to find his way up the inside, but he cannot really make it stick. And they almost make contact. Olav and Charlie Thornton almost make contact here, as I think Kieran Macy is going to try to brute force his way around here. And they do make a bit of contact, and Olav is in the gravel for a split second there, as oh no, Kieran Macy and Charlie Thornton make contact, and Charlie Thornton and Olav make contact. Oh my god, the stewards are not going to be happy about that one. Let's look back at what happened here. Slight bit of contact between the 626 and the 18, results in the 18 and 42 having a massive incident with each other. I don't think the stewards are going to be happy with that whenever we come around to doing the post-stewarding later this weekend, most likely tomorrow or Wednesday. They're not going to be happy about that one. I can tell you that much. As Gonçalves and Kevin Packery here are having a bit of a battle. Coming out of the final corner here, as the Porsche goes a tiny bit wide, and that will most likely give the BMW of Kevin Packery a run down the main straight here. And going side by side here. I wonder who has T1 here. That is the Porsche. Beautiful, beautiful driving from the two of them. Luke Wilson, the leader, with 4 minutes remaining, is just running off with this. 5 seconds down to Robert Bjorkman. And another almost 3 seconds down to Finley O'Reilly. That's a massive gap that Wilson has managed to build up in just a mere 14-ish, 15-ish minutes. Charlie and Kieran, the two Formula GT drivers here today, are sitting comfortable in P5 and P6. Of course, we do have our very own team, the Formula GT racing team. And if you're interested in joining that, do make sure you get in contact with either me, Kieran, or Charlie. So I'm not 100% sure there's a direct link in the FGTRL Discord. Michael Pocomandi runs extremely wide here. Let's take a look at what happened there. Coming into T1, did he just overshoot the corner, or did he make contact with the Ginetta behind him? No, he just massively overshot the corner. And that's gonna give Night Last a bit of a chance here, maybe. There's only 0.3 seconds separating the two of them. As we're down to the last 2 minutes, I think that means we have 2 more laps to go now. Given that a lap around here is roughly 1:40. As the leader, Luke Wilson, is coming around the corner here. I wonder if he's going to back off to try to not get 2 laps out of this. I think he will. And I think this is going to be the last lap of the race that we're going on to here. Let's see if we can see anything inside his car here. No. Sometimes you can see last lap or final lap, but not this time. I wonder if he's gonna make sure that we don't get more laps. Because of course he might have fueled the car accordingly. As Finley O'Reilly here is getting closer and closer to Robert Bjorkman. As Olav Nyheim and Aiden Burke are having a bit of a skirmish here. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot. Just a couple of more corners left here before the end of the race. Night Last is trying to find his way up on Michael Pocomandi here, but I'm not 100% sure he has the time to make that stick. Three more corners now for Luke Wilson before he finds himself as a winner of the first race of round 2 here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be the final lap of the race. That is the white flag, and that is the checkered flag. And that is Luke Wilson on the top step of the podium, followed by Robert Bjorkman and Finley O'Reilly in P2 and P3 respectively. Lucas James doing his first round here in the GT4s, getting a respectable P4. Kieran Mason getting P5. Charlie Thornton in 6th place, with Night Last, Michael Pocomandi in P7 and P8. Olav Nyheim and Aiden Burke round up the top 10. And there's contact between Night Last and Michael Pocomandi. At the end of the race, let's see what happened here. He just drives straight into the rear of him. Straight into the back of Night Last goes Michael Pocomandi. I do not believe my eyes. I am just going to be back in 1 minute. Please excuse me. We are back now. We just had to take a look at whatever happened there between Michael Pocomandi and Knight last. A bit of a weird one here. Let's take a look at it again. I wonder if there has been some sort of miscommunication between Knight last and Michael Pocomandi here. Seems as Knight has slowed down much more than Pocomandi was anticipating, and he just goes straight into the back of him. That is extremely interesting. Let's see how everything looked from the perspective of the 101 Ginetta. He is still on throttle, so he's not fully off throttle. That is going to be something. That is going to be something that the stewards will have to have a extremely interesting look at. That is very interesting. And there goes the server, meaning we will have a couple of minutes, maybe a minute roughly, before next server is up again. As we see multiple other cars, I just realized I was just watching the YouTube feed, just straight line barriers there, but that's typical end of race shenanigans. We're just waiting for the server to be up. I'm going to be taking a look here. See if I can catch a notification of the server going up. I'm just going to be refreshing the list here until the server is actually up. Still not up. Of course, Charlie has to manually enter the entry list and starting order of the cars. So that is why it might take a bit of time here. Get going. But yeah, we will be going as soon as humanly possible. So hopefully not a too long wait, otherwise it is what it is. Server is up. Let's join right back in so we can get this show started. Going to be a couple of minutes pre-practice, and then we're right into the 30-minute race that has a mandatory pit stop halfway through it. Just 2 minutes left of free practice, and I'm just waiting for the session to be forwarded here so we can get race number 2 underway. There we go. Oh, it is a night or an evening race at least. That's going to be interesting. Seems as though Finley O'Reilly's internet has crashed for a second there. We'll see if he has time to get back in. He is back in, and he's sitting in P10. Let's just connect the race control here. So we have that ready. As we per usual follow Kevin Packery around the lap, and when we come out of the final corner, we hop over to Luke Wilson in the back of the field so we can observe everything happening in T1. This formation lap is underway now for race number 2. 18 degrees in both track and air temperatures, meaning it's a tiny bit colder, but it's also 9 p.m. It's going to be an evening race here, and we'll see if it's going to be... It looks like it's going to be dry for the entire session. Which I'm sure the guys are extremely happy about. As always, now that we are on the final race of this evening, if you have participated in both of these races or just one, you are more than welcome to join up in the waiting room to the commentators area after the race for a quick interview. Given that it's only me here doing the interviews today, I will be doing 1 or 2 at most. as it would take far too long otherwise. We head on board here with Luke now for the final corner and a run down to T1. The race is green flag now. I see one car off track. That was race leader, pole sitter Kevin Packery. And number 22, I wonder what's happened there. Aiden Burke. He's made heavy contact with the 58. Heavy contact with the 58 and 22 into T1. And that promotes Gonçalves up to lead. Up to the lead of the race here. But he runs wide and Olav takes the lead instead with Michael Pocomandi right behind. Is he going to make a move up the inside here? Yes, he is, and he is most likely going to make that stick as well. Luke Wilson is up from P12 to P7. Right in front of him we have Robert Bjorkman, and right behind him we have Finlay O'Reilly. There's a bit of a gap down to Kieran Macy, who's fighting Kevin Packery and Aiden Burke here. Aiden Burke seems to have run a tiny bit wide, so he's going to make a move up on Night Last here, maybe? No. Yes, he is. Night Last is very much so off track, and he's going to have to rejoin in a safe manner, which it seems like he is. Yes, he is. Leader of the race, Olav Nyheim, followed closely by Michael Pocomandi. Tiny gap, a bit of a gap down to P3, roughly 3.5 seconds, with Robert Bjorkman going for a move up the inside of Gonçalves here, and he makes that stick. Luke Wilson is up to P5. He's going to make a move on through to P4 and 3 here, but he loses the position to Finlay O'Reilly instead, but he manages to maybe hold the position anyways, actually. Oh, it's side by side, it's tight here. Might have to give that place up to Finlay here. He does. But no doubt that he's gonna try to make a move in the next few corners here as he goes and dips a wheel into the gravel. Lots and lots and lots of good racing here, as Lucas James seems to at some place have lost a car, as he's now sitting all the way down in P12. Something that I have unfortunately entirely missed as I was going on about the Luke, Wilson, Finley, Goncalves, and Macy battle here, the four-way battle we had. That Charlie Thornton's looking forward to getting a part of the action in. We here over at Formula GT have recently opened up a new channel over on YouTube called Formula GT Simulations. That is a channel where we will be streaming and uploading content related to other simulation titles that may not necessarily be racing. We have done one test stream today, and that was of Euro Truck Simulator, which is one of the games that we will be playing a lot of on that channel. Euro Truck, American Truck, bus simulators, flight simulators, train simulations maybe even. There will be a lot of fun there. I'm going to make sure there is a link in the YouTube chat in just a couple of seconds there. There we go. Do make sure you drop over or hop over and drop us a subscription there. It would be very much appreciated. Luke Wilson here, sitting in P5, is going to look at getting past Finley O'Reilly here. If we can find another camera that is a slight bit better, this does look better. It's right up the rear of that Mercedes. Beautiful cars, both of them. As it seems like Michael Pocomandi has ran a tiny bit wide. Let's take a look at and see what happened to him here. Yeah, he just runs wide through the final corner. Leaves a couple of positions open there, and he's going to be dropping down to P5, I think. P4, actually. No, that's probably P5 now. If Finley can make this stick on the outside of him. It's soon going to be the inside in the next corners here. They make contact! Michael Pocomandi and Finley O'Reilly make the slightest bit of contact, and that sends Michael Pocomandi off track. And he's rejoined behind Goncalves in what I assume is going to be P7 or P8. Oh, wow, yeah, P7 here. That is not the type of move you would like to see. It's going to be interesting to see if the stewards have anything to say about this later this week. Of course, there's no live stewarding, meaning everything will need to be done by the staff team. Which is most likely going to happen tomorrow or the night after. Luke Wilson is nosing the BMW of Robert Bjorkman here. Wilson has the fastest lap of a 139.487. That is stupidly fast race pace here. Oh, he's right up the rear of that BMW. You can see the size difference between the Alpine and the Beamer. The Alpine is absolutely tiny. You could almost think that it's not a real car. Either that or the BMW is an absolute chunk of machinery. As the first few cars are into the pits now, Luke Wilson and Finley O'Reilly decided to enter the pits as it's just opened up. We have 20 minutes, or well, 19 and a half minutes of racing left, 9.5 minutes of pit window, meaning that everyone will need to have their pit stops sorted with 10 minutes left as Olav is sliding that car. Holy! Let's take another look at that. Coming in hot and just absolutely sliding that car. We're not Tokyo drifting. This is not Fast and Furious. As number 22, Aiden Burke is also entering the pits here. Meaning we will have 3 cars in the pits currently. And I wonder if Olav's going to aim for a quick early pit stop, or if he's going to wait out the timer for a couple of laps. Let's see what he decides to do coming through the final corner here. He goes wide, and I wonder if he's absolutely cooked his tires already. He's staying out for at least another lap. What's happening with the number 6 and 626 here then? Are they entering the pits? No, they are not. They're staying out as Aiden Burke gets a stop-go 30 for what I assume is speeding in the pit lane. Do we have any other cars going in? Gonçalves, maybe? Well, Michael Pocomandi is. I assume his tires are to be pretty cooked. As number 22 goes off the track in turn 1. Let's take a look. He makes contact with Olav. He makes contact with the race leader. That is going to be interesting to take another look at later. We'll see what the stewards have to say about that. Pocomandi is in the pits, and he seems to be the only car in the pits currently. Aiden Burke spins the car yet again. It's trouble yet again, I should probably say. Didn't spin the car the other times. Just had to wait for all the others. I wonder if Michael here has any damage, or if it's just fuel and tires for him this time. We will see what Olav decides to do now coming through the final 2 corners here. As Michael Pocomandi is leaving. Olav is coming around the final corner now. Is he going into the pits this time? No, he's not. He's deciding to stay out at least another lap here. As Robert Bjorkman goes in. Kieran Macy stays out. Gonçalves. Let's see what he decides to do when he's coming through the final corner here. We'll see if he's made up his mind yet, or if he's waiting out. He decides to pit. What about Night Last? Stays out. Kevin Packery decides to pit in though. And so does Charlie Thornton. No, he doesn't. Never mind. It was just a weird camera angle. You can see the damage to the side of the McLaren here. I assume he will be looking to pit in at the end of this lap. He doesn't have many more minutes to try to extend this, and we already have Luke Wilson and Finley. They've already been in the pits, so they don't have to worry. Same here with Michael Pocomandi. Daneberg is in to serve his stop go 30. He must have absolutely blew the entry or exit, I assume it must have been, to be able to be given such a harsh penalty by the game. Olav has just 2 more corners, and we will see if he's made his decision yet. He's entering the pits. That will give Kieran Macy the lead of the race, unless he also has the pits, which he does, and he decides to go in to the pits here. How about Knight last? I always forget that the Ginetta is on the other side. Yeah, he's also going into pit. How about Charlie Thornton? He's staying out. I don't even remember if he's actually done his pit yet or not. I guess we'll find out in a bit. Oh, sliding that car through the first corner. Do we have anyone else in the pits? We have Lucas James as well, and Knight last. I think these are the final guys to do their stops. That is Olav done for today regarding pit stops. He will leave the pits in second place, only to Charlie Thornton in the lead, but I assume Charlie still has to do his pit stop. As we do seem to have, unfortunately, lost Aidan Burke from this race. It's unfortunate to see someone leave the race, although with a stop go 30 in a 30-minute race, I can understand the frustration building up. Of course, it's still sad. Just one more corner and we will see if Charlie decides to go in or if he's staying out for a full lap more here. No matter what, I do still think that Luke Wilson and Olav Nyheim is going to take P1 and P2. And that is Charlie Thornton in the pits. The last car, I would imagine, that still needs to do a pit stop here. And he does it with 2.5 minutes left of the pit window. As Luke Wilson will take over the lead from from the number 18 Aston Martin. Indeed he does. So it's an all-out fight now between Olav and Luke here for P1 and P2. Charlie Thornton has dropped down to P6 currently, as he is soon done with his stop here. Going to be losing another few positions here, it seems like, and I do wonder if this late stop has paid off or not. He's down in P8 now, and I don't actually think it's paid off that well. Down to P10 even. Oh, a bit sliding on the exit of that corner there for Luke. Ola right behind. There's no time to make any sort of mistakes here now. 10.5 minutes left of racing for round number 2 here. Starting this Sunday, we also have the GT3 World Challenge Season 3 here at FGTRL. If you're interested in joining, there's still 11 slots open over on SimGrid, so make sure you join the Discord and sign up. A few of the tracks that we race in the GT3 World Challenge is going to be, let's take a look here, Laguna Seca, Spa, and Suzuka. But if we're sticking in the GT4s here for just a few more minutes, the next race, round 3 in a week's time is going to be at Alton Park. Then we head over to Bathurst. Bathurst, of course, is the drop round of this season. We decided we wanted to have it in, but we also knew that it would potentially be very chaotic. Lucas James has received a drive-through penalty. I assume that is for track limits. Given that we don't have any live stewards, I assume that is for track limits, and that's going to be devastating with just 8.5 minutes left of the race. He's going to have to go in and serve that almost immediately. After Bathurst, we head straight over to the Netherlands, to Zandvoort, before we cross the pond over to America and Laguna Seca, before we have the season finale on the 4th of November with a 60-minute Spa-Francorchamps race. That is going to be one full race instead of 2 shorter races. It's going to be exciting. 6 points round and 1 drop round on some of our favorite tracks and some of our favorite cars. And if you are interested in joining our future events, do make sure to join the Discord, where you will receive updates on all things related. If you would like to join this GT4 championship that we are currently running, you can do so. We still have, it's the 26 slots open, I want to say, if I'm doing my maths correct here. As Lucas James is sitting in P11, having cleared his penalty. The fastest lap of the race now with 6.5 minutes left belongs to this guy, Kieran Macy, with a 1:39.180. Extremely good lap time, and I don't know how well I would stand against these guys. Leader Luke Wilson has managed to build a small gap here to Olav. Gap of 2.5 seconds. And with 6 minutes left of racing, it's going to be hard for Olav to catch that. As Robert Bjorkman is sitting almost 6 seconds behind Olav here in P3, with Kieran Macy 7 seconds behind him in P4. Just 0.6 seconds behind Kieran Macy, we do find Finlay O'Reilly. He's going to be fighting hard for P4 here. If you are interested in joining in the commentators area here, in the commentators box after the race, you are more than welcome to do so. Just hop in the waiting room, which is a channel that everyone should have access to, and I will make sure you get dragged up here. We do one at a time for driver interviews, and I'm only gonna have time for a couple of them. But if you do want to stop by and talk for a minute or two, you're more than welcome to do so after the race. Going to be interesting to see if Luke and Olav decides to do what they did in the first race here and drop back a few seconds to see if they could get that timer to run down so they don't have to do an extra lap at the end. It worked out perfectly in the first race. Let's see if it works out this time as well. There's not that much happening out on track right now, so I think we stick on board with the current race leader here for a lap or two, or to the end of the race if nothing else pops up. But there's quite healthy gaps, with the smallest gaps being right around 1.8, 1.9 seconds here. Just under 2 minutes left now, and I don't think we'll have that extra lap at the end of the race. We'll surely have to take a look here. Or no, wait, sorry, I do think we will, because there's a minute and a half left, and it's already 45 seconds into his lap here. I sure hope everyone's calculated for this. I don't think any of the leaders here are planning on dropping back almost 20 seconds in this lap. Yeah, it's going to be 35 odd seconds too quick here. And we will have one final lap of racing. as it seems like Lucas James is getting past Kevin Packery here for P10. I wonder if he'll make that stick. That is a weird camera angle to be stuck on. He has made that stick. Michael Pocomandi is trying to catch Knight last here. With just one final lap and a couple of corners only left now for race leader Luke Wilson. As he comes around the final corner, on only a few meters left of the race here. There we go. Winner Luke Wilson, as Michael Pocomandi picks up a drive-through on the last lap here. I'm gonna assume that is for track limits. Luke Wilson wins the race. Olav Neheim takes P2. Robert Bjorkman takes P3. Finley O'Reilly in P4. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Kieran Mason, the 626 Formula GT Aston Martin. That is going to be devastating for Michael Pocomandi. I had to cut out and jump between the two things, as he also runs wide in the final corner here. Not his race at all. Do not pull over to the side of the road here, Michael. It's not worth ending the entire race. But Goncalves and Thornton are rapidly approaching him here, as that drive-through will be converted to a 30-second time penalty at the end of this race. As Charlie Thornton and Goncalves make contact at the end here as well, we have saved the replay. Let's take a look at what happened between the two of them. Seems as though Goncalves decides to try to spin the car around, and Charlie Thornton just wants to avoid that. That is going to be extremely interesting to take a look at later. Hey Michael, stuff happened. You drove well. Keep in mind, these things happen to the best of us. Let's see, if anyone is interested in joining the waiting room and the commentary box, then you're more than welcome to for a couple of quick minutes. But an absolute slam dunk today for Luke Wilson. Pole position, P1 in both races, if I remember correctly. Absolute superb driving. It does not look like anyone is interested in joining. So what I am going to say is thanks for watching, everyone. And make sure you catch us live next Monday, October 7th, for our two races. Our two races around Alton Park. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, everyone. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, you like the live stream here, and you join the Discord if you want to take part in this amazing racing that we have here. I have been Isidore, and you have been amazing. I will catch you all next time. Goodbye.